Welcome to the What to Read Next podcast. In this podcast, your host, Lori Amin, will interview published authors to chat about their work, journey to getting published, and their book recommendations. If you share a passion for books and always looking for your next read, then join us. Hi, Seressia. Welcome to What to Read Next podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So happy to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I have been a published writer for longer than I might care to admit, since 2000, honestly. And this makes book number 27, 28, something like that. I am a slow writer, but I can say that at least I've had one thing a year. I was on a little hiatus for some health reasons, but this is probably book 27 or 28, somewhere in there.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I've been published in romance, paranormal romance, erotic romance, urban fantasy. So I've done a little bit of everything because I'm like that dog in Up, where I just have a short attention span and I just keep bouncing from project to project. I have multiple interests in things, so I write what I love. So
I love this. So, question: were you always a romance reader before you started writing romance, or what came first, writing or reading?
reading, because I've been a reader since I could string letters together and know what they meant. So yeah, I started in science fiction with Ursula K. Le Guin, Madeline L'Engle, all of those kind of books, and then I can't remember, probably grabbed them, like everybody else. They found their mother's Harlequin stash, and I started reading those. And then I started working in a bookstore part-time to fix my book reading habit, and just discovered romances and started with historicals, and it just kind of expanded from there. So definitely was a reader before I was a writer. And yeah, I just love stringing stories together. But yeah, I was trying to write like fantasy way back when in my teenage years. But then, once I discovered romance and all the different subgenres of it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this would be cool. And so, yeah, I joined a writers group, and that set me on my path.
That's amazing. So let's chat about the love kind. What is the elevator pitch? What can readers expect here?
So basically, the love con is kind of it's just a geek book. So I am a geek and a nerd, and I just love things like going to Dragon Con and wearing costumes, and that whole love of costumes and cosplay. Okay, the book is about cosplay. And so, I've been a fan of that since, going to the Renaissance Festival and buying my first corset and dressing up as a tavern wench. So inspired by all of that and my love of that, the love kind of set around a fake reality TV competition that centers around cosplay. So Kenya's made it, my heroine, Kenya Davenport, she's made it to the final round, but to win the prize money and make her dreams, come true, because she wants to turn her hobby of making costumes into a full-time business. So she's got to take a production crew back home with her, and she's got to make a couple's cosplay with her partner, her significant other. Problem for her is that she's very happily single at the moment. So, but she's got to make a decision. So on live TV, she blurts out the name of her best friend and her roommate, who's Cameron Lassiter, who's also cosplayed with her, over the course of their friendship. So Cam, despite being surprised, he agrees to be her fake boyfriend for the show. And so now they have to convince family and friends and the production crew that they are actually a couple. And these public displays of affection that they've got to do for the cameras end up, having them catching feelings for each other. And, so the fake thing starts to become real, and that kind of ups the stakes for them because, do they be real for each other? And if they are real about their feelings for each other, will that destroy their friendship, or will they be able to, win it all? So there's lots of emotional highs and lows, and there's a lot of comedy in it, I think. And it's definitely the best story I've written to date.
Oh, I love this. I love you have me at fake dating where they catch feelings, it's like it's gonna happen. Like it's just like it's like a trip. I'm like, I love it. And they're like, well, we sort of have to fake it. And then you're like, but I like you, and I don't know how to tell you that I like you more than
Right.
fake. So I love this. And so you mentioned you love cosplay. Which is like your favorite cosplay costume?
Well, I have done just kind of dress up. So I've done some steampunk. I've done, pirates, because, that whole corset and winch thing
Yeah.
really seems to be really good one. And then one time I dressed up as Isis. So I had the crown, I had the collar, the ankh, the golden wings. So that whole thing was probably my most elaborate one that I did. So there's some that are mentioned in the book that I would like to try. Like in the opening scene, the competition required a mashup. So she dressed as Dora the Milaje Explorer. So it was just kind of a mashup of Dora the Explorer and the Dora Milaje from Black Panther. And so when I wrote that, I'm like, oh my God, I really would like to do this costume. So for cons next year, I'm going to try to assemble that and see if I can pull it off.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And I love you have something to look forward. You're writing on cover a new costume to do. So, all right. So, what has sparked joy over the past couple of years? Because we had not so good times, but something you may have, whether it's a book, writing, or a project, or a hobby, they may have, keep your spirits up.
Believe it or not, watching K-dramas, Korean dramas, so once I discovered those, I mean, I had seen some a couple of years back and I tried to find them again because there was like, I had a channel on my cable network and then the channel went away. So I'm like, now I've got to find these. So once I, found the channel on Netflix and I have Rakuten Viki, so I've got those. So I've just been watching way too many of them because I get so involved in them that I forget that I'm supposed to be writing right now. So I tried to save them as a treat. So, and watching an anime, just all of that, ancient alien marathons, because, it's a great diversion for that. All of those things have been kind of, sparking joy for me. And of course, when it's warm, I can sit out on my back patio and watch the hummingbirds fight at the feeders because they don't share. They don't like to share. They will dive bomb each other. And it's just really amazing to watch them gang fight over the hummingbird feeders. So those have been the kind of things that have just kind of made me happy over the last couple of years. So when I need a break to be happy, that's what I do.
I love it. So let's try some book recommendations. Which books would you recommend our listeners to pick up?
Oh, there are so many. And I know that my friends, my author friends are going to be mad if I don't mention them. But ones that I really love is the series that Farah Rashan is currently doing, The Boyfriend Project, The Dating Playbook. And I think she's got a third one that's going to be coming out. So I really love those. Well Met by Jen DeLuca, that series, I really like that. And the ones that Olivia Waite is doing right now. Olivia Dade, I'm sorry. I do like the ones that Olivia Waite is doing, but the ones that Olivia Dade is doing with the plus size heroines, I think that those are really awesome. So yeah, and I have a bunch of, my friends are doing excellent with their books and I just love them to death. Quanah Jackson's How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days. That one was a hoot and a half, so I really did enjoy reading that one too. So
yes, those are excellent recommendations. So tell us where you can find you online.
You can find me online at basically, if you can spell my first name, Seressia, you can pretty much find me. Twitter is at Seressia. My website is SheressiaGlass.com. And my Instagram is also Seressia Glass. And on Facebook is author Seressia Glass. So basically, yeah, if you can spell my name, you can find me.
I love this. Thank you, Seressia, for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was great.
If you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to share with friends, subscribe, rate, and review the show. This is the easiest way to support the podcast. Today's episode's partner is Libra FM. If you're an audiobook listener, then you should add Libra FM as your go-to source for paid audiobooks. Libra FM makes it possible for you to buy audiobooks through your local bookstore. Memberships start at $14.95, and they also have great sales for women's audiobooks each month for $3.99, thanks to the Kiss Club. To sign up for Libra FM, please visit whattoreadnextblog.com/LibraFM. You will receive a free audiobook when you sign up for a monthly subscription. If you purchase a subscription through our link, you will be supporting the podcast at no cost to you. The What to Read Next podcast is part of the Frolic Podcast Network. Please visit frolic.media/podcast to discover new shows to tune in. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.